Okay, so if you're looking at this video and you're one of those people that you just made it to the US and you're thinking like, man, I gotta make some ends meet, because African money is not the same as US money, or whatever country you're from money is not the same as US money, and you're looking to just make some money from here, this might be the video for you. But before I go ahead, I want to say who this video is not for. This video is not for people who maybe you're from a rich family or family that's doing good. It's not a bad thing. If you're from a family that they can take care of you and you were in school and everything's taken care of, it might not be for you, especially because with the jobs that I did before I made my first 10K, like those were jobs that most people would not do. Now, I titled the video 8 jobs I did before I made my first 10K, not to brag. It's really because I remember before, when I first made it to America 6 years ago, I'm thinking like, man, how do I make $10? You know what I mean? So last month, I looked at my bank account and I made $10,000. I was like, wow, if I made this video for someone, or if I made it to even an older version, young version of me that time, it would have been very beneficial because I needed it. So anyways, if you're one of those people that just made it here or you've been here for a while, but you're kind of looking to make some more money, maybe this video is for you. Okay, so let's start. So there's 8 jobs that I did when I first came here, and I'm gonna mention them, how I'm gonna put them in order, because these are jobs that I actually did, not like theory. So the first job I did, my first ever job when I came to America, was a math tutor. Now, by math tutor, what does that mean? I was teaching people math in class, and most of the time here, that was before AI, before Chegg, so people needed help with their math homework, and I was teaching them. Now, one of the things I would do here too is that I would teach people my math, and some people would pay me like $10 an hour, and then I would teach them like maybe a couple hours a week or whatever. But most of my money came from people who didn't want me to teach them math. They want me to do their homework for them. So this is where I got more money. So basically, let's say someone was teaching me math and I was charging them $10, but if they want me to do their homework, I'll double it. And I kind of made some money there. Not much, but it did some. So if you're good at math or you're good in any subject, you can literally charge people to do their homework or do their work, because most people don't want to do it anyways. So that's the first one. Second one is car wash. Now this was where I was at for a long time. Now I worked at a car wash for 3 years, and I remember how I got that job was because I was in school, and I'm thinking like, man, I'm gonna have fun student visa, so if I'm working, has to be a cash job. Like, how you can't work somewhere, because they'll ask you for documents, and of course you don't have it, but you want to make some extra cash. So how do you do it? So what I did, I looked for jobs on Craigslist. So it doesn't have to be car wash. You can go to Craigslist, I think .org or .com or something. I think so. I'm not sure. But when you go there and you just search cash jobs, that's all I did. Just search cash jobs on Craigslist. And when you do that, you will see a lot of lists of jobs that they have, and you just have a phone number and just call them. I called a couple of them before I got my first one. Now most of the jobs there, like dishwashing, car wash, snow shoveling, all that. Now, I don't know how much they pay now. I remember so with the math tutor, I told you I was getting 10 an hour, but it was not that many hours. With car wash, I was getting $6 an hour, but I was working like 72 hours a week. I wish I could do 72 hours in math, but you need a lot of clients to do that. So at that time, I didn't have the mindset of thinking I could just get more students and I could charge more and get more money. I was just thinking, let me get a job that already guarantees you a lot of hours. So basically, I went and got a car wash, and I was working 12 hours a day. 12 hours a day, 6 times a week. So that was 72 hours a week. That was during summer, and then during the time while I'm in school, I was still doing full-time hours. So Saturday and Sunday, that's full-time, and then I'll organize my classes in a way that I could still go to work. So I'll still do 40, 50 hours a week, even though I'm going to class. And this is why I said, if you're like not, if you're like your mom and dad got you, like, it's not something you want to do, and it's fine. It's totally fine. So, anyways, from the car wash, I did snow shoveling. Now, this is one of the reasons why most of the time when I tell people they're looking to come to America, you might as well just go to a big city. Now, the good thing about city, you have so many different ways of making money that in other places you'll be like, what? You can make money doing that? You know what I mean? So if you go to Texas, you're not going to make money doing snow shoveling. They barely get snow. But if you go to a city like Chicago, you get something like this pays a lot. Like I remember with this one, this was my first high-paying job, and they were paying $16 an hour. And I remember I'm like, what? And that's cash. I got take home. Now the only thing is, you work overnight shifts. Like let's say it snowed overnight and it snowed a lot. I would do from 11 p.m. all the way till like 12 the next day, 12 noon, or sometimes till 8 in the morning. And it's crazy what was happening. But basically, with snow shoveling, you can make more, and of course, you gotta be able to handle the cold. I mean, of course, we're not built for the cold, so I had gloves and everything, but that was brutal. But this is something, you can make a quick $300 in 3 days or 2 days doing this. So that's third one. So fourth one I did after that, I did catering. Now with catering, funny story, I met an African guy at school, a Nigerian guy. He does catering for Nigerian food. And basically he offered to pay me because he saw I had work ethic and stuff like that. Because one of the biggest things you gotta understand, when you're looking for jobs, when you're doing all this, you gotta look for people. What they're looking at ways you can give them a result. So if you're looking for a job and you have some skills, and you have some skills, and you've seen people tell you that you're really good at it, then that's your leverage. That's what you use to get a job. So I met this guy and he liked me, whatever, and we started, and we were doing catering for the Nigerian food. And this gave me an idea because when I did this for a while, I went back to the car wash again. And in the car wash, I sold food. I sold food for myself. So basically, I was always making homemade food, and people always were like, man, your food smells good. It looks good. So what I started doing, I would meal prep with my brother, and we would go and sell it at work. We'll sell $8 a plate. I would go shop and spend $60 a week on just shopping, and then by Tuesday, Thursday, I already made $50 selling food to my coworkers. So basically now my groceries were free. You know what I mean? So that was something I was doing because I was like, okay, I'm already going to work anyways, and I'm already cooking anyways. I might as well cook a little extra and sell. So that's something you can do too. It's like, find out something that you're already doing right now and just find a way to make some money off of it, because people will happily pay you. And people to this day, when I go wash my car, they always tell me, man, I miss your chicken Alfredo. Man, I miss your jollof rice, whatever. So that's good. 6. From here, I did dishwashing. Now dishwashing, okay, what can I say? Dishwashing is a very interesting job. Like, that's something I do not like doing. I'm cool. Like, and I'm glad most restaurants nowadays have dishwashers, but still, you still have some restaurants that need like someone to at least scrape off the food. So the dishwashing industry is not as big now. Like now, if you're looking for a dishwashing job, if it's something you want to do, chances are it's not an easy job to get, but there are still some places that are hiring. But yeah, it's a good way to get yourself into a kitchen though, because that's where you get some money. Now, the next one, I went back to another catering company, and this is kind of where I learned a lot now. So because this one was catering for daycares. So this is where I learned a lot. I found a company that were really good. That apparently, like, what the biggest secret, the biggest mistake people make when you come to America and you're looking for a job, you're looking for a job and you're asking people who are documented about a job. Like, if you're looking for a job and you know, like, you need to have some certain paperwork to do it and you don't have them, go ask people who don't have any paperwork, because those are the best people to get jobs from. Most of my jobs, I was around Mexicans, I was around Venezuelans, I was around Puerto Ricans. That's how I learned Spanish, because all the jobs I worked with were people who were not documented at all. And if you want to get more, you can get from them. Like, they can even give you connections to get into construction. That's another job I never got to try. But, you know, you get all those from people who are not documented. So if you're looking for a job at school, make sure you're looking at the right place. Now, if you already got documents, then of course, go ahead and go get papers. Go get a job. It's fine. But this video is for people who don't. So anyways, I got a job with the catering daycares. And this is a job where I kind of learned a lot, because this job I got a mentor in there, and then and all these jobs, actually, I always had one person that I would learn from, because what you want to do is that when you're in a job, you want to look at the owner or the person who is in charge and learn from them. So that's what I always did. Like with this car wash, I still have relationships with the owner and his friends, and to this day, they help me, or sometimes I help them. But it's a relationship that I built that has helped me massively. When I went into catering here with a Nigerian guy, I still talk to him. He taught me a lot of things that I know today. When I got to this one, catering, and the daycares, the owner taught me a lot. To this day, we're friends, and I'm glad I met him, because it wasn't really, because what he taught me was one big thing, and I'm gonna get you to know today, is a job is the only place where you are paid to learn. Now, if you're going to school, you're learning and you're paying them. Now, when you get a job, you're learning and you get paid. So if you make mistakes, who is the person who gets most of the end of the stick? That's the owners. Of course, they're gonna make sure you're accountable for it. But at the end of the day, they're the ones who are really getting, like, if you mess up, they're the ones who are really getting the pain. So now you can use that to learn and get better, and while getting paid. So all these jobs I worked with, so many things I learned. So anyways, catering and daycares, and this job I learned a lot in this one. This is the most one, I think. Put a star here, because before I got to the 10K, this one and the car wash, they played a big role in that. The reason why with the car wash was because one of the biggest things you learn too is, like, for you to, like, people say, oh, you know, I want to get better at this, I want to lose weight, I want to whatever. One of the biggest motivators you have is either you want to get to that goal so bad that motivates you, or sometimes it's you don't want to go back to whatever it was that much it motivates you to the point where you don't want to, like, go back. So, like, for me, one of the biggest reasons I like business, I like trying to make money, whatever, is because I hated this. I hated waking up going to the car wash. 6,000, I hated it. Like, I did not like none of that. So every time I think about, like, man, it's either I do this or I go back, I'm like, nope, I'm not going back that way. So now, last job, and this is where now I made the 10K, is entrepreneurship. Now I'll talk more about this one in another video, because this video is really focused on you trying to find yourself to doing any of these 7 jobs. So I'm not gonna take you away from that. But then in my next videos, you'll probably see how I got to the 10K or whatever. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful for people who are watching this, because I know I would have needed it when I just came to America. All right, have a good day, and see you on the next one.